The questions that are asked during visa interviews may look very basic on the surface, I must tell you. Very simple questions, not rocket science. You don't need to, calculate anything or go through a hell of a time to answer these questions. But trust me, you need to be strategic and tact in answering these questions. And so in this episode, I would be helping you out in answering some of the sample questions I've put together. Trust me that these five questions that I would be informing you about and how to answer them would go a long way to help you, because this these questions are mostly posed for every single person who wants to enter into the US. So hi there, my name is Kweku Ediama Ansa, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're yet to join the family, please click the subscribe button and also share with friends who you think is going to be of importance to them. And let's get going. Remember that I am not a counselor, neither am I an expert in this field, but I'm just sharing my experiences with you. At least I have been able to go through the process successfully. So that's what I'm going to share with you. Today, as I've indicated, I'm sharing with you five sample questions which you would meet. Fortunately and unfortunately, you would be meeting when you go for your visa interview anywhere in the world. Let's start off with the very first question that mostly people are posed with. I had this particular question as my very first question when I went to the interviewer. The first question was, why are you traveling to the US? It is the same thing as what is the purpose of your travel, or why, or what is the reason for you seeking entry into the US? Then you just refer to your reason for your travel. So if it is an F1 visa, obviously you're going for academic purposes. So I'm going to further my education in the US. I have gained admission into so and so university, and so I'm going to further my education there. The UN there. That answers it. Mostly there are people who would go on. There was one gentleman, the one I mentioned. I could hear him. Explaining further. He was like, "I'm going to the US to go and further my education in this that. I chose the school because the school is one of the best. And back here in Ghana, we do not have the opportunity to have practicals when you go and to do your masters in the so and so course. That is why I'm traveling to the US. US is one of the best. This is a lot of things you're telling them. For me, it sounded too recital, and so from the onset, I felt no, this is too much information for the interviewer, and that made the interviewer poke more into the answers that the guy had given. And unfortunately, he lost his visa, which I am sure you do not want to encounter same. So just be tact, just be precise and concise in giving your answers. So why are you traveling to the US? Tell them if you're going to the US to tour. So I am on vacation and I'm going to the US to tour the US. I will be visiting areas like this, that. That is why I'm going to the US. If you are going there for a conference. So I'm traveling to the US to go and cover this particular event, or to go and partake in this event because I am so. Just synchronize and let them understand why you are going to the US. That's basic. Now you go on to the next one. Mostly they will ask you, how are you funding your trip to the US? You've already informed them in your DS-160 how you're going to fund it, if it's your company supporting you, if it's your bank statement, but you need to now elaborate more on it. So how are you going to fund it if you are going there to school and you have scholarship? So I have gained 95% scholarship for my education in the US in the school. The rest of the fees, that is a 5%, I'm going to pay it with the monies that I've saved in my account. This is my bank account statement to show you how much I have more in my account to settle the rest of the debt. You get it? So you have given the person how you're going to fund it, and you've elaborated that you have funds to even support your trip. Well, if you're going and you do not have scholarship, do not worry. Then you now need to prove to them that you have a lot of funds to cater for it. So I have to pay an amount of this is this amount. and I have monies to or funds to pay for that. This is my bank account statement that I have printed out for the past 3 months. I would want you to have a look at it. That is what I'm going to use in supporting or in paying for my school fees. At least they know that then the interviewer will take your bank statement. When the interviewer takes the bank statement, he or she is going to compare how much you're going to pay for your school and then how much you have in your account, which should at least be able to settle at least the first academic year. You get it? So then you've supported with your proof of funds. If it's a conference and your company is paying for it, well, I am with so and so company and I have been selected to go and cover this event. And so my company is sponsoring me to go for this trip. I will be given per diem. I would be given accommodation because my company has or is making arrangement already for my accommodation and also so and so. If you have a letter to back it, which is very important, then you just say that I have with me a letter from my company indicating their support for this particular trip. You can have a look at it if you so wish. Do not lie about it if your company is not sponsoring you and you're sponsoring yourself. But you need to make them understand why you are sponsoring yourself. If it's a company program, why are you not being sponsored by a company? The second question. Let me move on to accommodation. Where are you going to be residing when you go for this trip? If you're a student, obviously your accommodation is going to be taken care of because you have to pay for hostel fees or hall fees and everything, which is part of the amount that you're going to be paying for your admission. So I'm going to be accommodated by the school because there is a hostel facility which I've already settled this amount or which my scholarship covers already. Because if you have a scholarship, it's going to tell you that maybe it's going to take 5% of your tuition, 10% of your accommodation, food, or other things. I mean, if there's a breakdown, it's going to say it. So then you need to tell them how you're going to be accommodated. If you're going for a conference, obviously you need to make them know where you're going to sleep. It is mostly prudent if you say that you're going to sleep in a hotel or in a hostel, which you booked already. So you book a hotel and then you print it out and go with it as part of your document. So I would be residing in a hotel called the so and so motel or hotel in New Jersey or in New York. I have already paid or reserved my accommodation, and this is a printout of my reservation for your perusal. At least it makes them understand that, well, you are really serious about it, and it's true that that's where you're going to reside, even if, I mean, that's not the situation. You get it? So you need to prove to them. If it's being a tourist or you're going for a visit and you're going to be staying with your sister or your auntie who should be legal resident of the US, then you can also prove to them that I would be residing at my sister's place who stays in New York City. This number, at least give the address if you can do that off head. This is a printout of her address of her. I mean, you can add electricity bills, rent bills. I mean, just to prove that truly she has an abode where she resides and she can also host you. How long are you going to be staying in the US? If it's a conference and it's a 20-day conference, you can say, okay, I will be spending 25 days in the US. That's because, first of all, I need to get there 2 days before the program. When I go, I need to go for my accreditation. If it's not accreditation, I need to go and make sure everything is settled. So I'll be going there 2 days before it. The 3 days will be afterwards. The next day, I'm going to relax because I will be tired by then. The next day, I would also go for, I mean, go and then experience the Times Square, which is one of the very most visited areas in the US. I mean, it is not bad to also go there and then take a glimpse of the place. We all know that it's a very nice place and people go there regularly. So you use that one day to do that. The next day you pack your bags and then you're back to Ghana to continue with your work. You get it? Then if it is school, then it is the duration of your course. So if your school is giving, if your course is 2 years, if it's a 2 year program, well, I'm going to be in the US for the next 2 years because my course, which is so and so, is going to run from September all through to next 2 years, August, and that's when I will be ending my education and I'll return to Ghana to continue with what I do. You get it? If it is for tourists, yeah, you have your leave period. You need to come with a letter to prove that truly you have taken your leave from your company. At least it gives them that confidence that truly your company is aware of your travel and that they will be expecting you back. So you tell them that I would be spending maybe 2 weeks because that is the leave I have taken. I have a copy of my leave form here, which has been signed already by my company, and they're expecting me back at work after next 2 weeks. Beautiful. Now, the final question I want us to discuss is, will you be returning to your country after your trip or after your purpose in the US? I'm sure you will say that, oh, yeah, everyone will go in for, yes, because I'm going to return, even if you are not going to return. But the thing is that they just want to test your pulse again. So you need to be able to convince them. So if it is a tourist, something that you're going for, so you have work that you do back in Ghana, and you've told them that you are on leave for the next 2 weeks, and that's what you're going to spend in the US. So yes, I will be returning to Ghana after my trip because first of all, my company is expecting me because I am still a worker with so and so company. I just took my leave to go for this trip. And so I'll be going for education purposes. You can also tell them, yes, so after my education, that's the next 2 years, I'll be returning to Ghana because I took a steady leave from my company. It looks very simple on the face, but be tact about how you answer questions and be strategic and answer every question with all the seriousness that you can do. I would be doing another video where I'll be telling you how to compose yourself when you go for an interview. I did that and it helped me. I'm also sure that when you take a cue from this, it's going to go a long way to aiding you to get your visas approved. My name is Kweku Ediama Ansa, and this is my YouTube channel, and I'm grateful that you could do the watching. Do subscribe, do like, and share with friends so that they also get this information across.